Steve Kerr, both first-time NBA head coaches, got $5 million deals last year. So he's $1 million over them. He jumped up from $3.7 million a year at the University of Florida. Now, you can look at this thing a couple of ways with Billy Donovan. The way Brad Stevens handled himself in Boston, first time. This dude came from Butler, by the way, to the Boston Celtics, one of the more storied franchises in the NBA, and did a hell of a job this year. But what had to happen first is some of those older guys, Jeff Green, Rajon Rondo, had to, exit stage left. You got a bunch of young guys in there, that would run through a wall for him. The same way he had in college. Here's the thing. You won't have that opportunity, Billy Donovan, not in Oklahoma City, because you got to deal with Russ. You got to deal with Ibaka. You got to deal with KD. Those are like, grizzled veterans now. They're not those same, 23-year-old kids that Scott Brooks took to the finals that year. It's not the same squad. These dudes have been through wars. You're going to have to come in the door immediately and show them, KD especially, because his deal is going to be up after this year. Got to show him especially, man, that you're the guy for the job. KD's kind of giving, Billy Donovan a little bit of vote of confidence, like everything should be all right. But that's pretty much all you're going to really get out of KD. He's not the biggest, rah-rah type guy. So we'll see, because that's what the plan has to be. Got to get somebody in here to keep KD. That's got to happen. Enes Kanter as well as out there in Oklahoma City now as well. He's going to be looking for a new deal at the end of this in this summer as well. From the Oklahoma City Thunder. What else has happened? Kyle Korver won the Sportsmanship Award. I think I mentioned that the other day. Maybe I didn't. Andrew Wiggins won the Rookie of the Year. He beat out I keep calling this kid Mirotic, the bearded rookie, because that's my name for him, out of Chicago. And Nerlens Noel finished third in this thing here. I don't know if we told you guys, but you probably know by now Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was 911 was called from his residence because he started experiencing some dizziness and he had to go to the hospital. But he has since been released. The doctor said that that's to be expected after the type of surgery he had, a quadruple bypass surgery. He's back at the crib doing continuing to do his rehab work at the house. Rob mentioned the other day that Kareem was battling leukemia. I looked it up. This dude has been in remission for 5 years, so. He just got the heart situation going on right now. The cancer thing is a non-issue right now. That was 5 years ago. He dealt with it, and he's been in remission since. So I don't want any one of us to be putting that back on this dude. Something else happened there. An award. Why is that not on here? I know I wrote it down. The Golden State Warriors GM won the Executive of the Year today. Yes, Bob Myers. He won the Executive of the Year. The funny part about this is that Coach Mike Budenholzer of the Atlanta Hawks finished third. In fact, he made one move this year as an executive. That was trading Adrian Payne, the forward out of Michigan State that was drafted here last year to the Minnesota Timberwolves for a future first-round pick. The other moves were made by one Danny Ferry, but the voters did not want to vote for Danny Ferry because of the things he said about Luol Deng last summer, which is foolish. These voters are stupid. These are the same people who left Draymond Green off the defensive player of the year ballots because, oh, man, I just totally forgot about him. What? Yeah, all this stuff is a bunch of just, this is why the players feel like, F it, we'll just get our own awards and we'll vote on them ourselves. This is why, because you people are idiots. You know what I mean? If the guy did the work, he did the work. If Danny Ferry did the work, he did the work. You know what I mean? Like, you may not have liked what he said. The joke may have been in poor taste to certain people, but whatever. The work was done. All right. What else do I have here for you guys as far as the NBA goes? Okay, that's pretty much it. I talked about the Bulls and Cavs as they'll get ready to start their series, I think, on Monday. Let me check on that for you guys real quick here to make sure I'm not just – yes, 7 o'clock on TNT. The Bulls will be at the Cavs for Game 1. This is Game 1, right, of their playoff series of the de facto Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, man, Hawks need to get off their ass, man. I'm telling you, you gotta show people in the playoffs who you are. Like, everybody believes Everybody saw what you did in the regular season. Everyone thought that was cute. All the basketball people, the basketball pundits, and all these people, but they were waiting. Just like the fans of the team. You can say all you want to, but you were waiting to see if it was real. And now, I don't know what you can devise from what's been seen so far. I'm a guy from the beginning of the series. I said Jeff Teague can get anything he wants, but he seems to just pick and choose his spots. After the game the other day, I was listening to the radio broadcast. Jeff Teague is talking about how, man, we gotta figure out a way to maintain these leagues. Yeah, no crap, Sherlock. But that starts with you, the guy with the ball in his hand. And stop deferring to people. Sitting around there waving your damn hands for the ball. You're the point guard. Go get it. Go get it and do your thing. The offense is much more fluid when he has the ball in his hand. It's almost like it's two different, offenses when he and Dennis Schroeder are in the game. They do a lot more pick and roll with Dennis Schroeder, whereas Jeff Teague has a propensity to push the basketball and put the pressure on like I said, a bum-ass Nets team. They have no reason. Outside of Brook Lopez at the rim, there's nothing that should be standing in front of Jeff Teague getting to the goal. Not any perimeter play. Not Darren Williams. Jesus Christ. And then Jared Jack. Come on, man. Give me a break. But, yeah, you keep playing around with these dudes. And then when Sunday turns around and the Hawks are back in Atlanta for good, I'm going to have fun. You understand? Monday will be fun day for your boy. This is the Sports Kings podcast. Big Mike here holding it down. Solo because my guy Rob Calloway is taking a couple player days, and he's in Vegas doing God knows what. I hadn't heard from him. He hadn't checked in or anything like that. I ain't really checked his Instagram or nothing like that to see what he's up to out there. But no, God only knows. Dennis Rodman's supposed to be out there having a porn star party. There's supposed to be some strip club out there who's getting, flying and busting strippers in so they can have 24 hours round the clock. You just pay one fee and you can just camp out at that joint. You don't even need a room. If you just pay your $150 at this strip club, they won't make you leave. You just stay there for ever until the weekend is over. So yeah, and he's the one that told me about that, by the way. Jay-Z's got his situation going on out there where he'll be performing. I think Nicki Minaj is doing something tonight. So it's only God knows what young Rob Calloway is out there getting himself into. Speaking of the fight, the other day we had the fight press conference, which I thought was weird as hell. God, it was one of the weirdest things I'd ever seen. Manny Pacquiao. Everyone wanted to, I want to thank God and this and that and the other. And then Floyd started calling the Filipino people the Philippines. I don't know that that's right. I don't know if it's wrong either, but it just sounded funny because Al Heyman kept calling them the Filipino people or the people of the Philippines. He kept mentioning them in that way. And then Floyd gets up there the Philippines. I was like, wait a minute. Philippians? That's like a book in the Bible. What the hell is he talking about? And he may just be right or whatever. And then Bob Arum is talking about Manny Pacquiao. I know everyone wants to big up Manny Pacquiao, but we've already detailed all the holes in that fake saint story. He's everything but. You know what I mean? For somebody supposed to be all about country and all this kind of stuff, pay your taxes, B. You know what I mean? You got this poor ass country, and you talking about all these poor people and how you was so poor growing up, and this, that, and the other, but you owe millions upon millions of dollars of tax money to your government. Man, back up, man. I ain't trying to hear that. You're trying to paint yourself as this whole saint thing because ESPN obviously has this thing now where the money's in telling everybody that Floyd is this awful woman beater. And by the way, I don't disagree with him, but it's it's you're using it to your advantage. That fact about him, all right, whatever. But here's the other thing. Bob Arum wanted to talk about his. He wanted to talk about Manny's worldly influence. And apparently some drug traffickers, a group of 9 drug traffickers got caught somewhere in Indonesia somewhere. And apparently in Indonesia, they don't play that crap. You start peddling drugs in their place, it's execution right now. Let's go. We taking your life. So apparently it was 8 guys, and it was 8 guys and 1 woman. And the 1 woman was a Filipino woman. Manny makes a call to the government of Indonesia asking them to spare this woman's life because she's from his country. The day of the press conference, those people were executed, minus the woman. So I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. You're praising him for that? First of all, if like if Floyd would have came out in defense of some drug dealer, some drug trafficker, no matter if it was a woman or not, like it would have been a bigger story than that. It wouldn't have been the story of look how compassionate this guy is. Second of all, if you had that much influence, yeah, why you didn't get all their lives spared? What makes her life more special than the other 8 dudes? Like how we know she wasn't the ringleader? It was only one woman involved. So how we know she wasn't the Griselda? What's the chick's name from Miami? From Cocaine Cowboys, Griselda. Yeah, how we know that wasn't her? Yeah, I'm good. Like stop trying to prop these dudes. Let them be what they are, or prop them down, or tear them up, whatever you're doing. Let them be what they are. They boxers. You know, if you don't like boxing, fine. If you don't like them, still you can like boxing. I mean, you can watch the fight. That don't mean automatically. Oh, guess what? If I watch Keith Olbermann, if you watch this fight, I'm boycotting it because guess what? I don't support women beating. Well, I don't think any rational human being does. you grandstanding like that doesn't make it any better. But speaking of Floyd and this woman beating thing, I'm about to break some hearts when I do this. I'm gonna make sure I give this person credit. Or whatever you want to call it. Her name is Diana Moskovitz, and she has written this article for the Bleacher Report. And it's not even about what she wrote. She actually posted the deposition of Floyd Mayweather's child as he saw Koron Mayweather. He wrote what he saw going on the night in question, in which Floyd spent those 2 months in jail about, and I'm going to read it to you guys. It's written the way a kid would write, so it's not just me not being able to read. Or, I mean, possibly that's going to happen too, but, that's not the only reason that it's about to sound the way it sounds. But here it is. Young Corin writes, I saw my dad was on my mom, and my mom said, go to the office. My dad was hitting her, and when my dad left, he took my phone, and his friend was blocking the stairs. His friend name is James. And my dad kicked my mom, and he told me to go in my room. But I went to go get my mom's friend that lived in our back house. My dad knocked on my door to the patio. Then I opened it. He came in and told me to close the door to the family room. Then I heard yelling, and I came out, and my dad was hitting my mom. It happened at 4 a.m. in the morning. He goes on to write, then my mom told me to run to the gate. Then I can, oh man, what does it say? Then I can, and James was walking to come and get me. So then I jumped the fence and went to the security office and told them that I heard my mom running to the gate. Then the security let her in. Then James, that's supposed to be James, got in my dad's car and drove to the office. His car is a Maybach, M-I-B-O-C-K. When all this started, my mom was asleep on the couch in the family room. My dad took my mom's phone. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough hearing that, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. And here's the thing. Like, Floyd's not alone. A lot of these dudes who are in this position, in his position, now, there's not a lot of dudes that are in this position, but what I mean is professional athletes, celebrities, people who consider themselves to be above the law based on their financial situation. Yeah, they're bad people. A lot of them are. They're bad people. You know what I mean? But they have a certain skill set that we enjoy, that brings joy to our lives. They play football, and they sing very well, and they're good performers, and they're good boxers, and things of that nature. And I think as a human, as just an adult, you should reserve the right to compartmentalize those things. You know, yeah, like, you know, would I want Floyd dating my, a family member of mine? Good chance not. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't want to have to murder Floyd. You know what I mean? Well, it wouldn't be murder in that case. I wouldn't want to have to kill this man for getting rowdy with somebody that I love. You dig? So, that probably wouldn't be a good selection. Floyd as the significant other of someone that I cared for. But, do I want to see the dude do his thing? Box and all that? By all means. You know what I mean? I'm not the biggest boxing fan. You know, when something big like this is going on, I'll